door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed. You walk down. She's
Okay.
Thank you. You turn back to the stairs.
Where are you going? You can't just leave me here. You'd better hope for your own sake that I don't slip these chains before you make it back down here.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. She has to be bluffing, but I'd hurry if I were you. You rush up to the first floor, grabbing the blade, both yours and the world's only possible salvation. Okay, if we're sure about this decision, I'll support it. I suppose we have a world to save after all. You slowly creep down the basement stairs. It's quiet. Where the princess sat only a moment ago, there's only a severed arm, its cooling flesh still chained to the wall. And she is nowhere to be seen. Is it just me? Or did this room get a lot bigger? Oh, you coward!
No, I don't think we can. Why don't you come closer? I have something to show you.
Your eyes dart to the corners of the room. You don't see her. Where is she? You close the door behind you. Almost magically, its locks immediately click into place. Maybe they'll open if you finish the job.
Oh, do you want to play a waiting game? I've been down here a long, long time. I'm very good at waiting.
You do your best to patiently wait her out, but eventually, exhaustion starts to set in. Come on, wake up. We can't fall asleep down here. You wait for as long as you can, pushing yourself to stay awake and stay vigilant. But you can't outwait someone who's been waiting for as long as she remembers. You barely even realize that you've started to drift off. Pain tears you from your sleep. The princess is upon you, ripping into your flesh, unnaturally sharp teeth and claws severing arteries and digging into organs. There's nothing to be done. You're already half gone. It can't just end like this. As much as I prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. A warning. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe. Does a cat lie to a cornered mouse when it plays with its freedom? Or is it just acting out its nature? Don't see why that matters. A lie's a lie, and if anything, she's the one who's cornered. She could have gotten out of there whenever she wanted to. We should trust nothing that she tells us, only what we hear and smell. That's a very roundabout way of saying that you should listen to me and take this seriously. Maybe. The interior of the cabin is ruinous and dilapidated. It feels like no one has lived here for a long time, wind rushing in through cracks and holes in the wooden walls. The only furniture of note is a termite-eaten table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. What are you talking about? You reach forward, but there was, and now it's gone. No steel claw. Do you think we can talk our way out of this? I don't think she wants to talk. I guess we'll just have to trust that we made the right call. It'll still be here if we need it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what's left of an old wooden staircase. It's still sturdy enough that you can make your way down in one piece, though you'll have to be mindful of holes. The air seeping up from below is oddly warm and wet, as if you're descending into a jungle. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. She growls up the stairs.
I can smell you.
She sounds almost feral, impatient, or maybe eager. You carefully make your way down the stairs. The last step gives way to the damp earth floor of a starlit pit. The walls are obscured by an impenetrable darkness, giving the illusion that the room might stretch on forever. You brush against the wide leaves of plants that surround you on all sides, seemingly the only living things that occupy this strange underground wilderness. The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. She could be anywhere. You see only a flash of the princess before she scurries away into the underbrush, dragging her heavy chain behind her. Remember, she's just a princess. She is certainly not just a princess. You're not helping. It doesn't matter what she is. It only matters what she does. Her shining eyes appear between the leaves, staring hungrily at you from the darkness.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling. You're right to be terrified. I'm so much more than you.
A shiver rushes up your spine and pulls you upright. The air's shifting. She's getting ready to pounce. Move, now. You lunge to the side, picking a direction on instinct. As you land, you're buffeted by a gust of air, disturbed by the sudden motion of a massive body. The princess. In an instant, she's pounced on the spot where you would have been, her chains rattling across the floor behind her. Before you can blink, she's gone, vanishing once more into the shadows. You still feel her gaze on you.
You're faster than you were before, but you're still meek, reactive, prey.
You whirl around to find her, and your gaze meets hers, a pair of shining eyes peering out at you from just beyond the basement stairs. So she's cut off our escape. Shit, what do we do?
You cannot reason your way out of this, fledgling. There's no compromise with what I am.
At least she's upfront about her intentions.
I want to swallow you whole, and I will get what I want. You have no exit. You have no hope. You live and die by my whims. and my whims alone.
Don't ask her what she wants. Just run for the blade upstairs and slay her with it. Is that all the advice you have? We don't even know what she looks like. Some specifics would be very helpful. She's just a princess. Don't overthink it. She's clearly not. She's coiling for another strike. Be somewhere else. We're on the back foot. The back foot keeps us nimble, keeps us alive. It doesn't matter if it keeps us alive, if it eventually kills us. We need to take back the momentum. We need to do something. Barely moving out of the way before the princess surges past you with a speed that makes her practically unseen. Yes, now's our chance. Quick. Right, I agree. We can't do anything without a weapon. We can regroup once we're armed and try to figure out a better plan. Don't plan ahead. Act on the now. All that matters is that we stay alive. As you turn to sprint for the stairs, you feel the air. You instinctively glance behind you just in time to see the princess lunge from the shadows. More unhinged, she is too quick to outrun, too nimble to outmaneuver, too determined to overpower. This is her domain. You are devoured. I guess that's it then, isn't it? Unfortunately for you, no. This isn't it. You are in a dark and caustic place. A thick, fibrous lining constricts around you, its slick surface impossible to grip. Your hands scrabbling uselessly at your surroundings as they compress in on you. Your lungs can barely expand in such a tiny space. Not that the humid, finite air grants you more than a few shallow breaths at a time. The liquid pooling beneath you starts to seep into your skin. You itch, then sting, then burn as the acid begins its slow work.
When I killed you, I tried to leave this place, but it wouldn't let me. You belong down there, it screamed at me. The world is better off without you in it.
The flesh around you rumbles as the princess begins to move, her thundering footfalls twisting you helplessly about. Your skin protests as the corrosive liquid sloshes around you, but there will be no respite for you in sight. The burning grows stronger, and you can feel layers of you being peeled away.
But you don't belong down here. You came from somewhere else. You came from out there. So I consumed your dead heart, and I carried it in my throat, and I draped what was left of you on my back, and I threw myself against that door.
She stops, her muscles tensing around you, and through the muffling layers of her flesh, you hear the whine of straining metal. And with a pop, she lurches forward, your body lurching right along with her. Her chains. She's loose.
But even then, it denied me freedom. You cannot fool me by draping yourself in decay. I know your true nature, and it is suffering.
Gravity pulls at you as you're hefted upwards, the distant creaking of ancient wooden steps barely audible over the thudding of the princess's heart.
And then it was gone, and I was here. A new enclosure, a nicer cage, but still a prison. I learned from my wounds. You're alive now. We can leave together.
Does that work? Could she free herself if we're alive in here? Do you really need me to give you a definitive answer for you to understand that the situation is grim? Stop her. Do something. We don't have steel, but we have tooth and claw. Tear through her before we are her. Bad. This is a bad thing to do. Your will dissolves along with your flesh. You let go and pathetically await your death, every burning second dragging on until you're reduced to a wet pile of bone and gristle.
We'll do better next time.
Your vision finally begins to blur, your eyes clouding over as they melt in their sockets. Everything goes dark, and you die.
We are a path in the woods. We have no beginning, and we have no end. But something cold and unnatural sits watching us from just beyond our edge. His gaze pushes against our borders, curling them in on themselves, preventing them from stretching to the places they need to reach.
No, that's all wrong. You're not a path in the woods, you're on a path in the woods. Who's even saying that? That's not the princess, is it? Oh no. How many times have you been here? I think this is our third? That's bad. That's very, very bad. It wasn't even supposed to reach 2. If you're at 3, well, no wonder things aren't the way they're supposed to be. Let's get our facts straight. What happened last time? What could you have possibly done for things to be like this?
The thing that sits beyond our edge speaks his logic into us. He tries to grasp at things that cannot be grasped. He tries to stare with wide pupils at that which can only be held from the corner of the eye or with a passing glance.
Shut up. The rest of you, talk. What happened? What did you do? Can she hear us if we talk?
I can hear everything, little one, but you don't have to be afraid of me. There's no place where you end and I begin. Nothing can hurt you here. Not anymore.
She ate you. And now you're convinced that you're stuck together. What a mess.
He doesn't understand. We aren't convinced of anything, and we aren't stuck together. We're one. This is how we're supposed to be. Can't you feel it?
I'm not watching you, I'm trying to help you. That's not an answer to our question.
I don't know what he is. I only know that he is something other, and that he wishes for you and I to tear ourselves apart.
I do want that, but only because it's in your best interests. It's in everyone's best interests. You won't be able to slay her unless you remove yourself from her.
He wants us to kill each other.
I don't. I want you to kill her. Don't be charmed by her faux solidarity. You're not in this together. She's the only one who poses a threat to the world, and she's trying to make you go along with it. You don't have to enable her, especially when you have what it takes to stop her.
We can't go back to that. We can't go back to the fear and the hunger and the pain. Not after being something as beautiful as this.
Doesn't all that conflict feel so far away right now? So petty? We've been posed against each other by something that understands the strength of our unity.
I can feel a thumping, a heartbeat, like a distant terror that keeps getting louder the more we pay attention.
Please, stop. If you let it in, we'll fall apart.
Don't look at it!
No, you can't bury that feeling. You can't hide from your past.
The past doesn't have to exist. Our freedom is within us. We just have to find it.
You fall inward into a network of connections too vast for your mind to occupy. Are you a path in the woods? Are you a body? Can you even grasp the fuzziest edges of the shapes that confine you?
We can change to fill them together.
We don't need to be everywhere. We just need to test the boundaries. You'd do best to remember that some wounds will never heal. Some rifts can never be mended. Even in rebirth, some things never come back the same. What is he going on about? What does he know about? I think it's our time we all finally stop listening to him. He doesn't actually make the rules. He's just flying by the seat of his pants like the rest of us. You aren't whole. You'll never be whole again. This struggle is meaningless. Whatever you think you're doing, you will fall apart.
We don't need to be made whole. All we need to do is find a single corner of his cage and break it.
You stretch and search and stretch and search, growing as you decay and decaying as you grow. As you strain beyond your limits, the ground around you becomes dry and unstable and crumbles into nothing beneath you. This place will fall apart before you find its end. This task, whatever it is you think you're doing, is impossible. All he has are words, and words aren't real. We're real.
I can hold us together for a little while longer, so long as you trust me.
It doesn't matter if the world is falling apart, it's time for us to commit to something. You won't find anything if I have to starve you. If I have to sacrifice my world to keep the princess at bay, I'll do it. Don't grow another blade of grass or harvest the remains of another dying creature so you can expand just that much further. Stop all of this. Right now. I think it's too late for that, mate.
I'm at your side. Shatter it and free us all.
No, stop!
Is this what he kept from us? Is this why he made us kill each other?
It's beautiful. We need to be there. We won't be safe until we are. We won't be whole. He thought he could keep us blind forever, and he almost did.
Where did it go? Why is everything so cold?
She's gone. Where did she... Oh, there's that mirror again. This doesn't feel right. The thing reeks of death. It's going to do something to us. I can feel it.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there. Do you know what we'll find out there? This one is like a shadow of me, twisting vines in search of answers. She will make for a curious heart. Do not mourn her. She has found what she yearned for. If I did, I would. No, their thoughts are quiet. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond? There's no need for you to know what you are going to do before you do it. If you find him, remember that I'll be waiting for you on the other side. The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
You're on a path in the woods. Bad.
We can't go.
Please, don't make a...
And just like that, you start to fall apart. I can remember it now. I didn't like being eaten. I'd forgotten how much it burned. And the air was so hard to breathe. She didn't care. She didn't care at all. As you remember the terror and pain you felt at the hands of the princess, you start to remember something else, too. You remember that you are a distinct being with a finite form and a mortal body. You can feel it. There is a shifting of the space around you, the infinitesimal movement of your molecules rearranging back into the shape of what you're meant to be.
No, I devoured you. I won. I put things back the way they were supposed to be.
Some division, when sown, can never truly be mended. A cavernous gash rips across whatever it was you thought you were. A cabin comes into being among the trees. It approaches, and it swallows your body whole. And then you find yourself, blade in hand, exactly where you need to be. At the center of it all is the princess, a wooden and fleshy heart beating with an unbroken rhythm. You're filled with a sense of purpose. Strike at her. End this once and for all.
I feel empty, don't you?
I feel safe. She isn't dangerous anymore. We could leave her. We could both live.
This hardly seems fair to anyone. It's an easy win if we want it, but I'm not sure whose win it is.
Do we have to do this? You have to. You know you have to. You devious little bastard. If you think I'm going to let you free her, you have another thing coming.
I know a bluff when I see one. He can use words, sure, but he doesn't have any real power.
I'm not bluffing. You won't be so smug when it happens. Ignore him. His words only confuse us. Just do it.
You're tired, aren't you?
No, I'm not. cut the princess down from the roots that bind her. I hope you're happy. Good luck getting her out of here.
I didn't think you would do that after everything. It's so cold without you.
She's gone.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I am curious to see what it means for us to know it.
You raise the blade, taking aim at her heart, and then you strike.
I'm sorry.
She's gone. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as...
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this. The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here. Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall. They're large and heavy, far too...
If you don't have the key, maybe I'll be here.
You make it easier for whom? Against your better... No, we won't have any... Stop that. The blade moves. A warning. The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat. The only... The I'm afraid... Are you... Yeah. Normally, yeah, but not about this. Wonderful. You do exactly... Don't worry about... No, you don't have to do anything, but you do well to use it regardless. The door, her voice.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please.
I wonder what visitors she could be referring to. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck. You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease. You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me? Oh, are we acknowledging that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But yeah, I remember.
So you've already been here. As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things. It's complicated things how? Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency. A contingency for what? For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse. Just Good luck.
If you knew this could happen, why didn't you tell us? All of this is incredibly valuable information. It would have changed our actions considerably.
I needed you to be in the dark for as long as I could keep you there. It's important. Necessary, even. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative.
That's pathetic.
I never said I wasn't.
I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that.
Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky, so don't waste that luck by messing it up again. All right?
Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark?
The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much. Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that.
I won't.
Fine, but you won't get another word from me on the matter.
Yeah, sure. We'll see about that.
Just give it a rest, this isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming. I don't know, but you could always try it on. Maybe it'll fit.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world. I wouldn't do that if I were you.
And why is that?
Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is?
And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it?
I don't know. Maybe it will.
He doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason we need to investigate.
But what if he's telling the truth?
He isn't.
I am. Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with faux disinterest as you inspect it, though she can't fully hide her curiosity. I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next.
What is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad. Is it bad?
Yes, it's bad.
Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time.
As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism. Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your neck. And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement.
Excuse me?
Yes?
Are we stuck here now?
Yes.
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
What are we supposed to do now?
Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll starve.
That's horrible.
It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information.
Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch.
No, that there's something special about this loose chain. It's clearly important.
Wait, I guess. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe not. Yep. Nope.
That's rude.
You and the princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. You're waiting for anything.
This is so boring.
There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be something we're missing.
But there isn't. Time passes. It passes and passes and passes. and the basement of the cabin remains much the same. It is cold and silent.
At least the world is safe.
It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything. But she's not ending anything. She's just sitting there. Her very existence is a threat. It harms everything around it.
How exactly does that work?
It just does.
But
Your line of questioning is interrupted by the passage of even more time. And after that, even more time passes again. And let me guess, the cabin remains the same.
if time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work.
I suppose you're correct. Things are changing. The differences are small at first, a bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there, but then they get larger and larger.
I don't like small talk, remember?
Still rude.
You continue to wait in silence, and the cabin continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls.
That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happened to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode.
She hasn't starved.
I guess she hasn't.
Even more silent time passes as you watch roots push themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass and pass, until suddenly there are no walls. And then... And?
I think he's gone.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us. So this is the outside world. It's cold.
She's gone. Is that... This...
You're right.
I think you know what I am. Then ask them, and make it quick. I won't last for long now that you can see me. Because among other things, she is death itself. To rid the world of suffering, to save untold trillions from being lost forever to the cosmic wind, she must be destroyed. And despite how far you've fallen, you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone. She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can. Of course there will be worse. I saw a glimpse of a better world, and I did what I could to make it real. Anything is better than oblivion. In the end, nobody wants to leave. When I broke the cycle, I made sure that the tear was rough. You carry a part of what should be her, and she carries a part of what should be you. Things won't be as they are now, but they won't be nothing either. I'm only delusional if I'm wrong. And I'm not wrong. I can't be wrong. We've already crossed the point of no return. There's no saving me now. Not that there's ever been much of me to save. I killed myself. It had to be done, really. None of this would have worked if I was still alive. Nobody living could know about her. I do. The people out there are real. No matter what you do to them, no matter what you enable, I want you to remember that.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly. Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation? Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final peace lies with you. I love you. It's magnificent. I know, and I've been waiting for you to see it through. Violence has always been our language, hasn't it? If this is what it takes to save you, then so be it. To question everything is to deny the proof of reality that lies in front of you. By believing in your suffering, you make your suffering real. In believing in your limitations, you placed a shackle on your neck. But even then, you remembered the impermanence of the material and watched as the walls of your prison decayed into nothing. To be impermanent is not to end, but to change. And for the world to be impermanent is to make finite the suffering of all things. Would you strip that gift away and leave them all to suffer in their permanence? But you say nothing. A web of nerves, lain upon a web of nerves, lain upon a web of nerves. The shade of a beautiful beginning we can never return to. Where did you end and I begin? When you felt what it was to be me, we held on to each other and pierced the veil of truth. Will you abandon that curiosity now that we are no longer joined in physicality? And so your quietude continues. My masses mob you. There is no beginning to them, nor is there an end. There is only the flood of bodies. And every moment you hold every possible sensation at once, and then you hold them all again. And in the end, you returned it to me. For a brief moment, you were everything. A chaos that needed ordering. But without chaos, there is no reason. Is your unbroken silence a lack of an answer? Or has your understanding begun to move beyond words?
Fears that pretends to protect us from loss. To fear death protects from losing a body. To fear ruin protects from losing status. To fear rejection protects from being known. But losing a body is contained within having a body. Losing status is contained within having status. Being known is contained within being conscious. It is in the nature of all things to transform, to go from known to hidden to known again. But when the ceaseless impermanence of all things strips away the finality of endings, what remains of fear? Is it a shelter protecting you from itself? Or is it a shelter protecting itself from you? You took fear by the hand and walked with it into the unknown, and through that, you feared nothing.
Still, you hide the contours of your heart from me. Your liver drives a stake into your body, and another, and another, and another. Do I miss your heart because I can't stand to see it go? Love melted into skepticism, and you pulled back layer after layer after layer, until all you were left with was the knowledge that you did not know me. You sought the truth then. Will you hide from it, now that it is within your grasp? Your stoicism knows no end. Are you starting to see? Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. You cannot remove something without removing the relations which define it. To destroy what you perceive as evil is to damn everything you perceive as good. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together. for you is not perspective.
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you don't know.
Even now, you think you can destroy me. If it takes all of eternity to break your delusion, I will still break it.
You don't have to face her alone. You'll never be able to strike a decisive blow from out here. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to it.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready? I'm gonna take that as a yes. And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but do you need me to describe things? Yeah, it's dead silent in here. Whatever it was that was left of him, I don't think it could handle you waking up to godhood. Pretty sure he got obliterated. Yeah, of course. The interior of the cabin is, well, it's a cabin, yeah? There isn't much here, just a table and a knife and a door. And some windows. You know, come to think of it, I don't think he ever really mentioned the windows, did he? There's no mirror, either. I think you broke it. And I know I've already mentioned it, but if we want to see this through, we're gonna need that blade. Even after you decided to see his plans through, I guess you can like the idea and hate the man. No blade it is. Have you given up on slaying her? The stairs. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice?
It's almost over, isn't it? That's okay. Let's just talk, the two of us. One more time, before you kill me.
She sounded just like that. Timid and gentle. Only she didn't know us. And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
You don't have a weapon. Do you really want to kill me? Because you don't have to. For what it's worth, I'm glad you don't want to kill me anymore. But what do we do now? I don't think I want that either. I don't feel the same. I feel smaller. Can we actually do that? What would that even mean? Where would we go? I want that too.
I think I'm gonna stay right here. Whatever you're doing right now, wherever you're going, it feels like it's for just the two of you. Yeah, it wouldn't feel right. But I'll be okay. I don't think I'll be alone for long either. I'm sure I can find the others.
Come on. on, Princess. It's just a door. Sorry, I'm just a little nervous. This is really it. Whatever happens next will be completely new.
That's probably...
It's almost...
She sounded just... And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
You're really going to do it then, aren't you? You're really going to kill me. You don't have to. You know that, right? But if that's what you want, we might as well talk a bit first. I wouldn't mind a few extra minutes. I'm sorry, too. So this is what it feels like to actually die. I think this is for the best. I don't know what the world will be like without me. But it can't be that bad if it still has you in it. I've always loved you. Don't forget me.
She's gone. And I don't... That's probably... The step.
It's almost...
And down we go. We shouldn't keep up.
Then maybe you don't have to kill me. Maybe I'm able to do the things you believe me to be able to do. So make me put it all back. Help me fix this place, and make us both forget. Help me send us back to the beginning, before we woke up. Before either of us saw the truth.
Can she really do that? Are you sure that's what you want?
I don't want to forget you either. But unless we do this, you'll have to choose, right now, between me and everyone else. Maybe we have done all of this before. Maybe we're supposed to do this forever. But you won't be alone for long. I'll be right here, waiting for you. I think you brought that knife down here for a reason. It has to be a part of how this ends.
Okay, if this is your choice, then we're doing it. I guess I'll see you on the other side. She takes the blade from our hand. She raises her gentle eyes to ours, a fondness in her gaze.
Everything is going to be okay. I love you.
You're on a path you're here to slay her. You're here to... The blade.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. Only making this more
Okay.
easier for whom? Fine. No. Stop that. The blade. Move the... A warning. Before...
Forget he said anything.
But he is of last... I do. Sure. The interior of the door to the basement creaks open.
Okay, we don't need...
Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in... You walk down the... You know she can't hit. She may... Oh, your spirits.
It's you, my dashing hero.
That's right. Well, only because we... Nothing. Or now... Rescue her? What are you talking about?
That sounds perfect.
The princess takes your hand, the last hopes of the entire world slipping through your fingers as they intertwine with hers. We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending. I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks. That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no, did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love. Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her. Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you have ever known. Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice. I'm just along for the ride at this point.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door together. Blech. And the lock clicks and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me? I told you our love was insurmountable. You and the princess make your way upstairs and the blade. You're enjoying this, aren't you? You're taking every opportunity you can to draw out the end of the world and make me suffer. I hate you.
That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin, and then you step outside. Our happy ending at last.
We did it. What should we do now?
Where did everything go? Where did he go? Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed.
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
He's cold. Quick, our feathers.
Okay, yeah.
You place your hand. The lock clicks. Ha! I knew it. You and the princess make the blade. You take. Wait, but you ignore the pleas of the foolish. Your blade.
I'm sorry.
No!
I'm going.
And just like. You'll get over. Get over it. You raise the blade. Yeah, let's not make any rash. Really? All of you may have previously thought that my passions were too great to stifle, but those were merely passions. You take. Wait. No. You barbarian, what are you doing? But you ignore the pleas of the foolish little voice and strike. The princess's eyes grow wide with terror as the blade falls, but she does absolutely nothing to stop you. Your blade pierces her heart, and she collapses pathetically to the ground.
I'm sorry. Did I do something wrong?
No, my love, you did nothing wrong. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Not you.
I'm going to die now. I think that's what you want.
And just like that, she's dead. And the world is saved. Thank you for seeing this through. I know it must have been difficult. I feel sick. Sick? You took part in the murder of the fairest creature that's ever lived. And you merely feel sick. I, for one, am absolutely distraught. Grief-stricken. Inconsolable. You'll get over it. You just saved everyone. Get over it. You smarmy ass. There's nothing in the world worth getting over it for. We might as well just end it all. You raise the blade, aiming the point directly towards your heart. Excuse me? No, you absolutely do not do that. Yeah, let's not make any rash decisions. We should give ourselves a minute, take a deep breath, and rash. The only rash decision we've made was running our cursed blade through her heart. This is far from rash. This is measured. This is the only thing left for us to do now that she's gone. Really? You're not going to say anything? All of you may have previously thought that my passions were too great to stifle, but those were merely passions of joy. My passion. What? No, let's not do that. You won't use your fancy reverse psychotherapeutics on me, murderer. We're dying together right now. All of you may have previously thought that my passions were too great to stifle, but those were merely passions of joy. My passions of sorrow run deeper than the ocean itself, and you'll find that they are far more unstiflable. Haven't you? Haven't you all? I don't believe this. What? What don't you believe? You plunge the blade into your own heart and collapse to the floor. You can't be serious. Why are you helping him? I'm not. He just made it happen. I'm sorry. That's right.
You're all sorry.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
You're on a path in the woods.
You horrid monster. Do you think just because we've returned to the woods you've earned my forgiveness? Our beloved had best be alive and well when we return to the cabin, or you'll never know the end of my wrath.
She won't be alive and well when we return to that cabin, because she's dead. We killed her.
You killed her, and so I killed you.
And you clearly didn't do a good enough job. I'm still...
Oh, and I'm still here too. If you lot get to be blessed with seemingly eternal life, that must mean she's still there, waiting for us to throw ourselves at her feet in remorse.
I doubt it. I think I'm better at killing than you are.
So you've been here before. Of course you've been here before. What count is it this time? 2?
It's our third. What gave it away?
Your open discussions. I couldn't care less what he knows. Every second we stand around arguing in the woods is a second that I'm anxiously worrying about her. Take us to the cabin and take us there now. With each passing moment, our relationship may be damaged even further. Though I fear the rift between us may already be permanent.
And if it is permanent, then what? You'll kill us again.
Oh, you just wait and see. My vengeance will echo the depths of my bereavement.
Don't provoke him. I prefer if we didn't die again. I'm not fond of dying. Why not? You've already done it twice.
It was unpleasant.
It was only unpleasant because you think it's supposed to be unpleasant.
I'll make you feel what I feel if it's the last thing I do. And mark my words, you won't like it when it happens.
Oh, how exciting. I'd love to see you try.
Can I? Well, I'm not just going to try. I'm going to actually do it.
I'm looking forward to it.
Good. I am too.
Can I talk now? Yes, I can. Great. Now that you're listening, let me remind you that if you're here in the woods, it means that the princess is not dead, and that her very existence currently poses a direct threat to the entire world. I'll believe that when I see her living body.
Did I hear that right? He says she's alive. Our beloved lives again.
Yes, she's alive. But you're going to have to make her not alive. You'll have to slay her. It's your job.
We absolutely will not. This is a tale of love and redemption, and this time it will not end in bloodshed. Except ours, if any of you try anything.
Let's do our best to keep him away from anything sharp. If we're lucky, there won't even be a blade when we get to the cabin. If this isn't the same path in the woods you're used to, that means that her influence is already spreading and you're running out of time.
Wait, but if her influence is spreading, that means there's hope. That means our beloved is waiting up there for us, ready to make amends.
Yes, I already told you that she's alive. Don't mind him. I don't think he's doing too well.
I'm doing better than any of you. I'm doing great. She's alive.
Influence doesn't require life. But if things restarted, why wouldn't she be alive? Who said they restarted? All they've done is changed.
I shan't listen to the vile mutterings of you serpents. Onward! Our living, breathing princess awaits us.
I'm sure you've already heard my words of warning in one of your past lives. You've already managed to slay her once, just don't muck it up this time, alright?
Oh, we'll muck it up all right. We'll get our happy ending, even if it damns each and every person who's ever lived.
Whatever you do, don't let him influence a single decision. He's clearly lost it. I hate that I'm agreeing with him on anything, but I really don't like being at the whims of someone so unstable. It's stressful. Yes, having all those feelings isn't very productive, is it? But we're just passengers here. Why stress over something you can't control? You're saying that like stress is just something you can turn off. It is. It's easy. Whatever happens, happens. Are you even alive? What's the point of doing anything if you're not going to feel a single emotion? I don't know. I just exist. And that's fine with me. This is horribly unproductive. The cabin and your extremely important destiny await. The interior of the cabin feels dry and brittle. Ancient dust-covered wooden beams hold up a crumbling ceiling like mummified ribs, each elegantly carved detail of the stately building preserved in an extended stasis. Everything here has been kept safe and dry and lifeless. But you're not alone. You can feel something watching you. There is a figure faintly outlined against the dusty wood of the far wall. Is that her? Our beloved. So she does live. She doesn't look very alive to me. Before you can make a move, the figure is gone, vanishing behind the door on the far side of the room. The door at the end of the room, but there isn't a door. There's a mirror, that's it. The mirror? Is this some kind of joke? Did you all plan this out before dying? There is no mirror. There's the door to the basement, the table, and the pristine blade. Huh. Maybe it's gone because we've already killed. Perhaps it's gone because an oh-so-deserved guilt has started to worm its way into each and every one of you. Perhaps all of you do feel just as bad as I about what we've done. Though if you felt the oppressive guilt I feel, we would have manifested that weapon directly into our heart. I suppose it doesn't matter why the blade is gone, but you're going to have to find it if you're going to do this right. So why don't you march over to that door and make your way down to the basement? As if something as flimsy as a missing door would stop us on our sacred quest. Cross the room, find our way back to her, make things right. You're clearly hallucinating, but I'd rather not get into it with you right now. The door to the basement is on the far side of the room, whether you can see it or not. You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You must think you're looking at that mirror you mentioned earlier, the one that doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open the door. It's so hazy. We should try and clean it off. It's time for all of you to see what we've become. Reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. The handle is just a little to your right, and a little down. So much for our reflection. We didn't need to see ourselves anyway. I'm much more interested in seeing other things. I see. We are too hideous for even a mirror to behold. We can only hope she might still see some good in us. No way left to go but down. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an antique staircase lit by weak torchlight. The air here is so stale it practically stands still, as if the very molecules of this place have been fossilized, trapped for eons until your arrival. Even the blaze of the torches can't penetrate the odorless air, as if they'd run out of fuel to burn ages ago, their light still flickering more out of habit than from adhering to a physical reality. A wispy figure watches you from the bottom of the stairs, face veiled in shadow. There she is again. My love. She's just an old memory. Your eyes lock for a brief moment, then she vanishes around the corner. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body lying in a heap on the floor, her wrist still bound to the wall by a heavy chain. This cell is a dark and isolated place, with not so much as a window to allow starlight to penetrate the gloom. See? She's dead.
No. What foul trickery is this? How can this be? We just saw her alive and well a moment ago, floating away transparently.
Whatever we saw was a ghost. Thought we were all on the same page. Do try to keep up. Thoughts are interrupted by the sound of a slamming door and a clicking lock. You turn to see the shade of the princess staring down at you from the top of the stairs, clutching a brightly burning torch. So that's where the blade is. It's already in her heart. And yet she isn't dead. She is dead. Have you never heard of a ghost before? Oh, for the love of... Can we not waste time arguing over the semantics of what is and isn't dead? She is clearly conscious. She clearly just slammed the door on you, and she clearly has a weapon. Your pristine blade sticking out of her chest. This is extremely bad. Catastrophic, even. Yeah, dead or not, what are we supposed to do about her? Slaying, or destroying, if we want to be a little more death neutral, seems off the table.
We make amends. She obviously still holds us in her heart. She's bearing a torch for us and everything.
But she hasn't said anything. Are you sure she can talk like this?
You came back. I missed you.
That angelic voice. I missed you too, my beloved.
You sure snapped back to your old self quick.
Yes. Seeing her dazzling countenance again has reignited the warmth in my heart. I have found it in me to forgive the sins this body has committed. We can have our perfect romance after all.
This is a bad place. We're supposed to be together, but it keeps making us hurt each other.
The torch falls from the princess's hand and bounces down the stairs.
It'll be so much better when it's gone.
The skeletal wood of the basement, perfectly dry after uncountable years of desiccation, immediately catches fire.
She's trying to kill us. A misplaced escalation of her passions, but clearly she still cares for us. I say we burn with her.
Because I want to be with you. I don't want you to leave.
See? Everything's fine. She wants to be with us.
Yeah, in a bad way.
She just has a unique way of expressing things.
The fire grows quickly, devouring the basement, dancing up the walls and painting every surface with strokes of flame. You're choked by smoke, and the air around you grows uncomfortably warm. We've never burned to death before. I wonder how it's going to feel. Bad! I bet it'll feel really, really bad! Yes, it will be terrible, so you'd better come up with something to do, and fast. Your personal safety is far from the only thing she's threatening right now.
I think a bit of fiery passion is good for the world. You're just trying to spoil her fun.
I'm not spoiling anything. I'm trying to prevent oblivion.
I'm not mad at you. You gave me so much to think about. And it's all going to be over soon. It's all going to be better.
She's holding a grudge. She wouldn't. She's perfect.
The heat grows in intensity as the flames draw ever nearer. You can practically feel your skin sizzling already. If you're going to try and stop her from killing you and destroying the whole world, you'd better do something, and you'd better do it now.
I wonder if we look good right now. Fire makes a lot of things look good. I can only imagine how dazzling our eyes are in dancing flames. Do you think she's noticed?
I don't want to burn to death. We don't have to, right?
It's okay. I'm going to burn too, and then we won't hurt anymore.
She's right about the last part. Burning doesn't hurt forever. The flames lick at your form, stripping layers of you away, causing your skin to blister and pop and crisp. As you burn, the princess glides to your side, her ghostly form blackening as she too succumbs. This is terrible. We're going to die. I'd savor this feeling if I were you. Soon enough, we won't have nerves.
And we'll get to die with her. After what you made us do last time, this is as sweet an end as we could hope for.
She clutches you close to her chest, her eyes bright and her smile wide with manic affection, watching as the flames take you away. The pain is unbearable at first. Every inch of you screams as your flesh is stripped away, your muscles stiffening as they're cooked, your blood boiling in your veins. But it isn't long before the flames take your nerves, and with them, your ability to feel much of anything. See? That wasn't so bad.
It was so bad.
You'll get used to it.
There are still the feelings of the heart. Those never go away.
Oh, they always do in the end. You just haven't experienced enough. Eventually you'll want them to stop too. You'll make them stop. Trust me. The princess's smile never fades. Her skin peels away, and then her muscle, until all you can see is her charring skull, locked in an eternal grin.
It's very romantic, really. We got our happy ending after all. We can die happy.
It's different now.
Yes, yes.
Something finds me. My
As you rush up the stairs towards the princess, you push through the flames, trying to ignore the choking hot air filling your lungs. You manage to reach her, your hand wrapping around the hilt of the blade. The metal is already blistering hot. Your hand sizzles as it melts on contact. You can't so much as pull away, your nerves seizing up as they're fried, the bones of your hand fusing in place around the weapon. The princess, smiling warm, the pain, but it isn't sick. You'll get there up. Oh, they all. The princess's smile.
It's very romantic.
She's... I'm begging you.
This here.
As you rush up, you ignore the layers of you return to the paper. Oh, it's there.